Here we go. Welcome, welcome. Things are looking weird on the stream today. I don't know exactly why. As far as I can tell, I'm not doing anything differently and things look fine here, but there's a lot of glitching in the music and I can see it. I'm watching myself glitch on YouTube. So the only thing I can think of is I don't think it's my bandwidth because like the countdown streams at like 2 megabits, not 6. And so maybe it's something wrong on YouTube's end. I'm still using the SRT ingestion and I'm at ultra low latency. The problem is I can't change it now that it's up. So this is locked now that the stream is running. So I can't change the setting. I think it would probably go away if I switched to low instead of normal, but I can't do that because I'm already live. So if it's really glitching that much, then I think I need to start a whole new show essentially and redirect this one to the new show. So okay, so wait, oh my god, I forgot to open my chat. Can I stop and restart? So no, because it's literally like I would have to actually end the stream in order to change the setting. So yeah, it's like oh my god, where did the chat go? Just had it. Oh weird, it opened in a whole new tab. Okay. It looks like the hotel. Yeah, it's like the bandwidth problems we were seeing before. Can I switch to the backup? It's not really going to do anything. And I can't change the SRT encode latency because I'm using the Blackmagic encoder, so it just auto detects. I guess I could switch to an encoder that I can set the latency in. So we could try that first. And if that doesn't work, then I make a whole new YouTube stream and we start over and do it again. What do you think? Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is my thought is that it's something on the ingestion end because it's everything looks fine here. One thing with the music is I thought that it could be so the computer runs off of OBS on my computer, so if my computer does other things, it glitches the music. But then I actually pulled up the stream and didn't do anything else with my computer, and it is in fact glitching, and I can see it glitching now. So, all right, we're gonna fix it live. So here we go. Things first, I need to find a encoder where I can set the latency. SRT. Matt says Google YouTube servers are all green. How do you have access to that? Okay, so we're going to take the Director Mini because I can set the latency on that. We're going to give this power somehow. There it is. And you can watch while I do this. We're going to give it power. We're going to start booting this up. And we're going to switch over to this encoder live, which don't ask. Okay, sure. Okay, now I need to steal an output from the rack somewhere. I think I'm going to steal it from... I have too many cables here. Can I go back to RTMP? Not on this video. So now that I've started the stream, I can't change stream keys or stream latency. So I could switch back to RTMP on a new YouTube video. So if this SRT setting doesn't work, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I need to grab... Here's one. That is this hyperdeck. So we'll plug that in here. And that should be showing up. Yeah, okay, so that's HyperDeck 4. So we're going to go... HyperDeck 4 gets... Oh, right, it's on SDI. Or HDMI, I need to change over to SDI. Using this for dubbing. There we go. Wait, no flickering or dropouts now? So it's fine now? Let's just make sure my ATEM is setting ME1. Okay, great. Well... Stream's a bit more stable since you changed angles. Be weird if that was the cause. Well, if it's... I don't think it's the camera angle, but changing the angle requires more data to do the full frame refresh versus small changes. Exactly, yeah. It's a fairly still image. You need movement to see the glitches. So as soon as it tries to encode movement faster, then it might glitch out again. Or it's totally stable and everything's fine now. Seems to be settling down fine now. It sorted itself out. So I'm gonna blame YouTube then. Oh well. Well, I have the backup here now in case I need to switch over. But if everything's good, then I guess we'll just go off to the races. Okay. Now it just glitched. Jazz hands. Okay, jazz hands to test. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just go on with the show. So, okay. Welcome. Weird. This is again one of the reasons I have this is one of the reasons I have the countdown timer on the stream, because that lets me go live for a few minutes and watch the stream on YouTube and actually confirm that everything is working, and then it lets me actually see that, for example, there are glitches without being on camera like I am now, which is harder to do it when I'm on camera. So yeah, I don't know. But I think we're good. Okay, so if you have any questions for me during the stream, start your message with the letter Q, and it'll put it into the Q column, the question column on my chat. And otherwise, we're going to just start talking about stuff. I did today. AT&T is having an issue at their Portland data center. They have classified them as moderate. Interesting. Okay. That could explain it. My audio is ahead of my video. That's got to be on the encoding side then, because nothing I'm doing here could cause that to happen. All right, we're just gonna roll with it. So, hello. Andre says, I was wondering last week about other PTZ cameras and controlled companion, for example, the AV Matrix. If it has VISCA support, would that be enough? Yeah, great. So, basically, yes. The way that I was doing PTZ companion control of that PTZ camera is by using the VISCA connection. So, for example, this is just my connection name. So if I go here and look at the connection, this is just using the Sony VISCA connection. So it would have worked with any brand camera, assuming it supports that protocol. And now these actions are actually VISCA commands. So the OBSBot cameras actually support it too. So this one is, I don't have one here. This one's upstairs connected to Lily's ATEM that we use for the cats. So cat cam. So yeah, that supports the same VISCA commands. So this whole, I can make a page for the different PTZ cameras, and as long as it supports VISCA, it's controllable with Companion. They didn't need to make a special module for that, which is very cool. Um, great. Sound Ace. Why is audio not coming through when the Apple TV is connected to the ATEM Extreme via HDMI cable? What would be the issue? It absolutely should come through. I don't even know if there's any settings to change that. I don't think the Apple TV has the option of not having audio out the HDMI. I can check on mine, but it could just be that the ATEM doesn't have the channel enabled. So if you go into try to make sure I don't mess up the audio on the stream. Come on. It's not letting me connect to, let's try this one. Yeah, so if you go into the audio tab, then make sure that your audio channel is actually on. And for the HDMI port, otherwise you definitely won't get anything. I tried all the settings, but audio is not coming. So, oh yeah, good point. Unless it's airplaying. So let me go to the Apple TV and we can. Do I have a button for that? I do. So this is my Apple TV. Let's go out of the screensaver. There we go. Settings. Oh, it's in crop mode because this is what I usually use for sharing the iPad screen, which is cropped. But audio output. There is a setting for it. TV speakers. So if you have other things paired to this, it might have other things in this list. That could be what's going on. So double check that setting. Otherwise, it should just work. And there isn't really any way to make it not work. There's the full screen. Yeah, so TV speakers is what it would be called. I only have that plugged in. Gwen says, it's nice when manufacturers support common protocols like Visca instead of something proprietary. I absolutely agree. Manuel says, I just received my OC Duet as well as PK stand for it. Love it, by the way. Awesome. Thanks to NX3D for making that. They are in the chat here, I saw. But I can't get the OC to see my NewTek NDI camera from either Android or iPad. The NewTek NDI camera from Android or iPad. Oh, okay. So using the camera app. Can it, if I remember correctly, actually the NDI camera app does not do NDI HX. It's only full NDI. Let's see if that's correct. No. Okay. There's a separate app called NDI HX camera. And the GoStream only supports, yeah, GoStream only supports HX. So make sure you're using the app that's called NDI HX camera. There are a couple, it's confusing, but that should make it show up. Had some issues with the stand. Customer support was more than helpful. It took time out to resolve my issue ASAP. That's great. Love to hear it. Bowls Promo says, I love and use the Photoshop export feature to the ATEM. Any other apps have this feature or plans to? I agree. It's a super useful feature. I've never seen it in any other app, and it's kind of like a weird thing that's still there, and I hope it continues to exist. It is very handy, though. I agree. When I connect directly to a TV, audio is coming. If it connected to the ATEM Extreme, audio is not. I can't figure out what that would be. There's nothing. I'm trying to think what on earth could cause that. because there aren't really any, like, other than that setting that I just showed you in the Apple TV, there's nothing else that you can change. It should just go. I don't know. Kevin says, what's your preferred method for sending your stream out from a small event venue? Preferred method? You mean like which streaming switcher? Or do you mean like network? Is this a network question? Definitely, I recommend bringing your own router, regardless of what switcher you're using, so that you can have your own private network in the venue. That's just so that you don't have to rely on the event venue network. So just internet to uplink from your router. Sven says, is there an NDI camera app? I only know of NDI HX. Maybe there isn't one. I just remember that this is usually the thing that makes the things not work in the NDI world is NDI HX versus full NDI, because a lot of devices will only support one and not both. Like this camera, for example, it actually says on the side, thankfully, NDI HX, so you know that it is not full NDI. It's very fun. It's very fun to move it around. I just positioned it to give you a close-up of the RØDECaster video. Yes, network questions. Okay, so network questions from or regarding small events. So yeah, I would grab a travel router of some sort. I like the GL iNet ones. The goal of that is to give you your own network switch where you can plug all your things into on your own local network, so that you can, for example, set all the IP addresses to static IP addresses if you want to, so you know what they all are, and that won't change when you move the rig. And then give your travel router internet from the venue. So obviously, if you can get a wired connection from the venue, it's not always possible, of course, but that's going to give you the best connection, most reliable connection. If not, then the travel routers, a lot of them will have the ability to connect to Wi-Fi, or also the cell connection. So like your travel router can sometimes tether to your cell phone over USB. And then beyond that, there's the bonding routers, but that's like a big whole extra thing of whole extra chunk of setup and services to buy and things like that. So some of the things like the live view or the KiloView encoder, which I need to finish setting up actually. This one is the P3 Mini. They just sent this over. I've just started setting it up. I got the server running on a machine here, and I need to finish actually doing an end-to-end test of it. But this is not this is going to be the actual video encoder. So you give it a video signal, and then it will do a bonded, whatever network connections it has, will bond them all together and upload the video, like stream the video over the bonded connection. However, this will not give your gear the redundant network connection. This is like actually doing the encoding. So this is the other way to go if you are worried about the bandwidth issues. Larry says, have you evaluated the new YoloBox Ultra software update? Any comments? I haven't actually installed it. I saw the release notes, which it was a long list. I don't know if they have a post about it yet. It looks like a really good list of updates, though. And I do need to actually... There it is. I found it. This is from 4 days ago. I do need to actually install this. Background music. That's cool. That's better than The only other way to get music in there was like as a video clip. So I did that for like countdown music, but background music is good. Video source duplication. Oh, that's cool. Okay. I don't use transitions other than crossfades, so I don't really care about the transition settings. Nice option to give you a auto record when you start streaming. More buttons in YoloDeck. Great. Changes to settings. This is a good update. This is pretty solid. Web pages as video source. Oh, the Director Mini has this feature, and now YoloBox does too. That's cool. This is a solid update. I need to install this. Yeah, this just came out, so I haven't had a chance yet. Matt has. I've been using no issues. Ultra beta tester. Very cool. Emmanuel says, I do have the HX version of the app. It says on the icon, but when I start the app, the back camera shows resolution at 3840 2160 and the front 1080p 30, even though I changed them to 1080. Great. Well, that's why it's not working, because definitely it won't accept a 4K signal. Where are you seeing the resolution? I don't even see that in. I don't see anything that mentions resolution in this. There's, oh yeah, this setting is changes the NDI protocol, so you can change that also. That goes between very helpfully labeled left, right, and center. But it's like the different bitrate versions of NDI HX, and sometimes some receivers only support one of those. So you can try changing that. Nacho says, have you used the OBSBot tail air with HDMI cable? I find it very difficult for OBS to recognize them. It always first asks to connect them via Wi-Fi, and that complicates. Don't understand why they don't make it recognize through HDMI as quickly and simply as when it's through USB. So I do have the OBSBot tail airs connected over HDMI, but not into OBS. It's just going into my ATEM. And the HDMI cable is just the video signal. There's no like communication or anything like that. No PTZ control. So I don't, yeah, you can, what are you trying to do in OBS, I guess is the question. Is it just as a, if you bring, I have never plugged it into OBS. That's interesting. It's a good point. It should work as a webcam into OBS over USB. But I just like having, because everything I do here is all just wired gear, HDMI gear. So yeah. Oh, this is good. They're working on an update that allows YoloDeck to, instead of saying source one, to saying what you rename it to, like main or top. That's good. That is much needed. I'm glad to hear that. Do I know of any iPad apps that support external cameras via capture cards and have false color? I know about CMO, but would prefer not to buy on other devices if there's already a decent app. I've never really looked around for this. Yeah, the CMO app does it, but then that's a separate device, and now you don't really need it because you can use webcam capture cards now. I've only, because the webcam feature is relatively new, I've only seen these kind of separate devices that are capture cards that work with an app, and that app then has the false color and other monitoring tools. Yeah. CMO, we're trying to avoid buying another device. Already spent a lot over the Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's possible that, let's see. Do I have it on my iPad? Weirdly, the searching for apps on my computer has completely broken, which is great. Oh, I unplugged it from the network because it's got a wired network. Hoping the Blackmagic camera app will support external webcams eventually. I agree. That would be very cool. I think the challenge there is having it control the camera, because like the big feature that for the Blackmagic camera app is manual manual control, right? So shutter speed and all that good stuff. Okay, we'll install that and see if I can do something with it in a minute. Have you had a chance to test the Insta360 Link cameras with the Director Mini? You know, I haven't. Where is my Link camera, actually? It is somewhere. That is not here. OBSBot is right here. I don't know where it went. I was using it. Oh, it is on my desk over there. It's actually the camera I use for meetings right now. That's funny. Yeah, I have not tried that because it lives on that desk. That is an interesting idea. I wonder. I don't know what it does. Rena says, "What's your preferred platform for streaming corporate events?" It's tough. It's the whole thing is kind of a mess. It really depends on the features that you need out of the platform. So, like, do you need registration, like actual registration and locking viewing to only registered attendees? In which case, actually, Zoom is a pretty good, simple way to do that. Just the Zoom webinar feature. Is it okay if it's just an unlisted YouTube video that you share the link around to? Whether you need the ticketing and like registration is, I think, the big one. Seeing pixelation again, glitches are back. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. I don't know what to tell you. We can switch over to the other encoder. Oh yeah, I see it. Not as bad as earlier, but okay, let's switch over to the other encoder. Let's get, so the Director Mini is over here. I need to get the audio in it. HDMI audio always on. And so that is the program feed from the ATEM. So what I can do, oh, it needs internet, of course. Let's give it a little bit of internet. Matt says, I don't think it'll help. Well, my theory is that I can increase the SRT buffer on this, but I can't with the can't do it with the ATEM or the web presenter. Oh, I have no idea what that was going to. Okay. Let's do that on the computer. Oh, I guess I probably shouldn't show you my stream key. That's actually active. So I'm going to plug in, I guess we'll go to the backup URL. v.srt.youtube.com. Encode. Is that the right password? 3E72. Nope, it is not the right password. And the right stream key. That also changed from the last time I tried this. Okay. Oh, I need to set the SRT latency. Latency 160. So we'll up that to like 500 milliseconds, and we'll see if that helps. Okay. So with this now set, I can start streaming to the backup URL on YouTube, and it shouldn't have any problem taking the two feeds at one time, I do wish that this would tell me that it is receiving data from the backup URL, for example. It doesn't have any indication that that is what's going on. And it seems like it wouldn't be that hard for them to add a little thing in the stream status of like primary ingest, primary server, secondary. Anyway, now I can cut the stream from the web presenter, and that will fall over, hopefully relatively seamlessly, to the director mini. So here we go. You can see me push the off button over, hopefully relatively seamlessly, to the director mini. So here we go. You can see me push the off button now. And hopefully with any luck, we're still online. Let's see how it goes. I'm watching the stream on YouTube for me to push the button. There it goes. And it was totally seamless. I can't hear it, so I don't know if the audio was seamless. I'm assuming there was at least a little doubled up audio or something. How are we doing? Sound level is lower. Oh, weird. Why would that be? Is it? That's weird because everything is just set to like flat. Short repeat. Seamless switch. Okay, well, I guess we're fine. I can bump up the volume a little bit, but I don't want to do that too much without being able to listen to it, which is awkward. Sound is fine. Okay, we'll just leave it alone. So cool. Now we are going from the director mini and at 500 millisecond SRT buffer. So we'll see if that helps. Great. So Adam says, I saw that the RØDECaster video has Stream Deck and companion support. Have you tested it yet? Okay, so this is what I wanted to start the stream with because I'm very excited about it. But then we had weird artifacts at the beginning. This is why I have this set up here, because yeah, they just shipped companion support, Stream Deck support, and they did a very good job with it. I had access to that beta for a couple of weeks, and I played around with it a little bit, but now I can actually properly show you. They didn't want me to mention anything before they actually had shipped it. So couldn't talk about it before, but now I can. So I have the beta version of Companion installed. This is 3.5. Right now it's in the beta. It's not in the main one yet. But once you do that, then the RØDECaster video is one of the connections you can add here. So I have that connected. I found the IP address of the RØDECaster video, and it's connected there. Got the green check mark, and now we can start making buttons for it. First thing I like to do is go into presets and go into presets and see what they've built for presets, because sometimes people, when they build these modules, will build presets for them, which are just usually faster ways to create these buttons. So for example, input 1, if you look at what's actually in there, it'll usually have feedback as well. So this is just easier than building this from scratch. So essentially this is saying if input 1 is on program, then the button will turn pink. If it is on preview, it turns green. If it's idle, it's this gray. If it is unavailable, it's black. Unavailable versus idle means there is or is not video signal actually plugged in. So like if you look at these buttons, that's what it's meant to mimic. And they actually picked colors that are very close to the actual colors here. I don't have any video sources plugged in on 5 or 6. Also, these scenes are not created, so those are unlit, and that will be black in companion. And then these are lit up gray. So, oh, now I can go and move the PTZ camera over to the other stream deck. Whee! That's the one that is set up on plugged into the computer. Let's see if I can fix the exposure a bit so you can actually read the buttons. There we go. So if I put input 1 on air on the RØDECaster, then that button is pink, and if it's off air, it's gray. So that's great. That's simple. Let's keep going. Let's create buttons for. I'm just going to go in here and drag in the buttons for all the cameras. I don't have 5 and 6, so I'll leave those out actually. And let's see what else they do. I have record, stream, and fade to black. Okay, great. Streaming, recording. That's good because recording, or sorry, the streaming button is actually kind of hard to get to here because it requires tapping that and that. But record is this nice button. I hope eventually they make this button do both. Actually, maybe it does now. I haven't checked. No, it doesn't. Okay. It'd be nice if that just, I feel like it should, because it's right next to these two icons. So I feel like it should just turn whether you have a drive or stream configured, it'll just do whatever is configured. Okay, so the streaming button looks like we got, if it's configured, it's green. That matches, again, it matches the light here. So they did a good job of that. And if it is streaming, then it will turn pink, which is the same thing as what happens with that button. So that's cool. What else have we got? I think probably the biggest the thing I'm most excited about is the audio. So why is there just, that's a weird one. Let's see what's going on here. Channel, okay, yeah. So you choose the channel that you want to control, choose which mix you're controlling it on, and then toggle mute, change the volume, or change the gain. So basically they have the one audio action that does all the audio control, which is very cool. So interrupting this demo. What's your mindset on not having the live chat replay on your streams as I'm unable to see, or is it on my end? It should be there, but I just realized that it's possible that it doesn't because no, it is there. Sometimes when I have a script that creates these streams now, and sometimes when I do that, these settings don't get set right. But no, it should be there. So if you are, sometimes what happens is right after the stream is done, the chat is not available because YouTube is transcoding the whole stream to like an archive, and so it'll be like an hour or so after the stream is over, then the chat is available again. So if you are watching the stream replay immediately after it ends, you won't see the chat replay. Okay, so we were audio. So this is the thing I'm most excited about the RØDECaster is the audio. Be able to make buttons for audio, because controlling the audio with the physical device is, and it's not like hard. It's just not something you're going to do during a stream if you're on stream. Like if I want to do the countdown sequence for the show, I have like I can have a video playing for the countdown timer, and then as soon as I hit that, I want my microphone turned on, right? So there's just no way to do that with the buttons. I have to go in here, I have to go scroll around to the channel, and then tap into it, or which one is it actually? No, it's right. It's press in, and then I can scroll and turn the volume down. And there's not even like a mute button here. It's easier in the Rode Central app. So here there's an audio mixer, and this is much faster to make these changes. And here I can just like mute the channel. But I'm obviously not going to do that while I'm about to start the stream. So now I can actually make buttons for this. I'm not sure why the presets only have, I'm not sure why there's only one showing up here, but I can go and, for example, change, let's say my audio is coming in through HDMI. In this case, it's 2. For the live mix, I can then have a toggle button. So now we need to change this. So this should actually say, this should actually, there should be a variable that I can use. Let me see. Variables are cool little things. Here they are. RØDECaster video. So there should be, I thought there was a variable for the label of it. Maybe there's not. Line level, monitor, HDMI. Nope. Okay. Maybe it's not called HDMI. Maybe it's called input. Ah, there it is. Input to name. So what I should actually do is turn on the I should configure my audio channels properly. I'm going to use HDMI 1, bring the audio in that way, and then I'm going to make this button have the variable for the input 1 name, and then a new line, and then this I think was HDMI 1. Nope. Let's go back to variables. Oh, it's probably not there because it wasn't enabled when Companion started. So let's just disconnect and reconnect. And then let's see if it finds, there it is. So now it knows about that variable. Oh, that's like the live, that's the actual live value. Wow. Okay. That's maybe not necessary. I think what I wanted to do is actually this one. The level that it is set to is maybe more helpful. This is like a little silly, having it show the actual live audio level. So there, now I can see it's set to 0. Maybe I don't need that. What would I like to have on here? I actually want feedback about whether it's muted. That's what I want. So we're going to delete that. Main audio, and we're going to add feedback for, oh, I already had it. HDMI 1, live mix, current volume. Okay. Audio, I've changed that to HDMI 1. Yellow, what is their preset? Okay, so if I press it, then, well, its feedback is based on the audio level, not the mute status. That's weird. Oh, this is giving me feedback about, this is the actual live audio level. Look at that. It's blinking as I'm talking. I don't think I like that. It's interesting. I guess I could see clipping that way if it's hitting the red. I'm not sure I like that. Usually I like to have the feedback status be whether the channel is enabled. So let's see if I can RCV. Audio source status. So HDMI 1, live mix, mute. That's what I want. I'm gonna get rid of all these. This is silly. So basically I want, if it's not muted, I want it to be red. So if it is muted, Is this working? No, it's not working. What is going on? Press action. Oh, because that channel is wrong. HDMI 1. There we go. So now, if the audio channel is on, then I have it show up red. Maybe I actually want that to be green. I think I usually use green for my microphones. Whatever. You take your pick, right? And then if it's not on, I can see that. So now I can copy this button for other channels. If I had like, let's say I'm using sounds from video clips. So we'll use the video clip channel, and then I have to go find the variable for that. It's called video clips. Makes sense. I guess that's just going to be, oh, it doesn't have a variable because it's just called video clips. Great. So now I have buttons for, I can use to quickly turn on and off the mute status for my microphone and the countdown timer. And this is now infinitely faster to control compared to using the scrolling menu on the RØDECaster video. So this is great. What else do we have in the presets? Oh, we look at controls. We looked at audio. We have oh, so this is just buttons for the media, which at least now there's like a faster. I can make a button to like bring the logo on screen faster than doing it physically here, because here I have to go into that menu and then I can bring on the graphics. So now it's possible to just quickly switch to it from a button. So we have media. We also have the overlay buttons. So that's another just faster way to turn those graphics on, and buttons for scenes, not surprisingly. Very cool. So that's all the presets. And then there's sometimes are more actions that they available that they don't give you presets for. So let's see what's in there. For example, audio delay, logo, video outputs. This could be handy, changing your video output between program preview and multi-view. There's input button, scene button, media, overlay, audio, delay, transitions. Oh, auto switching. That's useful if you want to turn auto switching on and off. Then there's, yeah, the keying stuff, frame. You just make a button to change the frame rate. Okay, that's cool. So you can make a button that's like set up all your defaults. Cool. Well, that's super. They did a good job with that. It's very thorough. Let me look at the chat. What's going on? Ben says, curious if you have any tips for troubleshooting bitrate on an ATEM Mini Pro ISO. Streaming high should be 9 megabits, but I seem to get 6, and sometimes YouTube gives me a warning. Don't worry about it. The ATEM does variable bitrate encoding, so it will, if your streaming high is 9, then that's like the maximum that it will shoot for. But if it doesn't need to use 9 megabits, it won't use 9 megabits. So for example, if I'm sharing my screen, then most of the picture is not changing, and now only a tiny part is changing. So it drops the bitrate down because it doesn't need to use the full. Like now I'm looking at this is the web presenter over here. It's now at 3 megabit. And if I go back to this, it'll jump back up to like 6. And yes, YouTube will complain and say you're not sending enough data, but that's because it doesn't understand variable bitrate. And it just thinks that you're not sending enough data, even though it's totally fine, and it handles it just fine. So just don't worry about it. I'm streaming a code editor, so not much changing. Yeah, so if you're doing screen sharing, then yeah, you'll almost always see that problem. But even though YouTube's complaining, it doesn't actually matter. Can the ISO recording bitrate be adjusted on the RØDECaster video, and is it separate from the streaming bitrate? No, I haven't seen any settings that control. Let's look here. So there's whether or not you're doing ISO recording. There's the frame rate, but there's no way to set. The stream profiles have streaming quality, which is essentially the bit rate, but this does not tell you what numbers it is. It just is low, medium, high. And then there's no setting for the recording bit rate. Usually you won't be able to change the ISO. Like generally the ISO recording things don't let you change that anyway, because they're just recording whatever they're usually the highest it can. And I do know that the program bit rate it records. Let me do a test really quick. Do I have a USB cable handy? Why are there no USB cables? Oh, there it is. I'm pretty sure that the program it records is less than ISO. But we can double check that. Let's get that drive plugged in. And then now we see that record popped up and ISO recording is turned on. So if I hit record and let this run for a couple seconds, then we can take a look at the files. Okay, that's probably enough. And then saving, and I guess I have to pull that into my computer now. Somewhere I have a free USB slot, I think. Yeah, okay, so RØDECaster video disk. Oh, there's a lot of projects on that. So the program video that it created is, I don't need this window this wide, 28 megabytes for, how long was that? 28 seconds. And these are, yeah, significantly bigger. So these are, I guess we can look at the actual bit rate with FFmpeg. Let's check this one. So this says it is 8 megabit, and the ISO ones are 44. And I do think they're variable bitrate because I guess I should have a computer screen in here to test that. Let's try that. So let me go back to this, and I will send a computer screen instead of a camera. And then, so now the RØDECaster video has camera overhead, PTZ camera, and then a computer screen in here. So now if I do that recording, let's see what happens. Let's go back and pop the drive in. And let it recognize it, hit record, go 30 seconds or whatever. While that's going, let's look at the chat. Eight megabit seems respectable. Did they fix the issue where if you unplug the USB drive, the files are corrupted? It looks like it, because I just pulled the drive out. Streaming high seems to be around 7. That was what we found. I tested the high to YouTube, Teams, Town Hall, and Mixcloud. It didn't go above 7 regardless of the platform. That makes sense. What was a huge pause? Are we getting YouTube glitches again? Or was I just... Oh, while recording. I mean, if you're yanking a drive out while recording, I wouldn't expect it to not get corrupted, frankly. That little processing when I hit stop, I'm assuming that was it, like closing out the file. I would not expect to be able to yank a drive out mid-recording. Okay, back in the computer. Let's open up the disk and see what this did. So, oh, I let it go for longer this time. So we have and 12, 75 megabytes. But the question is, yes, it is definitely variable bitrate recording for the ISO files because my cameras are all about the same size and the computer screen is significantly smaller. Good to know. Glitches have come back a bit. Pixelation artifact lower thirds when the glitch hits. What a weird thing. I guess maybe upping the SRT latency has helped a little bit. Yeah. Photo Joseph tested it just to see what happens if the device freezes. Will you lose everything recorded in the stream so far? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. I've also had the ATEM freeze a few times. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Let's try it. Let's find out one more time. Because this is the newest firmware. Okay, so we're gonna hit record, and we're going to yank the drive out after like 10 seconds. Okay, so we should have 20 seconds of video, and let's see what happens. Boink. Interesting. It said processing after I pulled the drive out. And what... I'm not expecting this to work. I don't think this is gonna... There's the project. And what is the deal? So I'm not seeing thumbnails, but there is data. Let's see if this finds anything in it. Nope, it looks like it didn't. Invalidated when processing input. So it looks like it didn't close out the files. So it doesn't know what to do with them. Is there any way to recover this? Nope. Yeah, I mean, yanking the drive out mid-recording is weird. They're not showing up with 0 bytes for me, though. There is data in them. It's just I can't do anything with it. Maybe some program could try to recover because there is something there. But FFmpeg, which will be the first thing I would have tried. Okay, let me take a look at the chat. I'm getting behind now. Late to the party, no problem. With the YoloBox Ultra, how do I start to stream with no contract for streaming service plans? If I do or should get a service plan, what's the best to host a live? Do you mean like what internet service to get? Doesn't really matter. it just needs internet of some sort. So if you have the ability to get like month to month SIM plans in your country, then you can do that. If not, then you can use any other internet connection. Like if you're at a venue, you can connect to their Ethernet or Wi-Fi. If your phone has data, you can tether to your phone. But yeah, it doesn't really care about. It just needs an internet connection of some sort, basically. Daniel Williams says, I prefer the Director Mini, but it got a YoloBox Mini as I found a used one. Sony outputs 59.97, but YouTube says it needs 30 or 60, and we'll round down. Should I set YoloBox encoder to output 59.97 or 60? The can't if your camera really only outputs 59.97, YouTube does need. Well, here's the thing: is that sometimes platforms will say 30 and 60, but they actually mean the fractional version of them. So I'm streaming at actual 30. What does YouTube? And YouTube is actual 30. So here's the stats for nerds on the current stream, and it's showing me actual 30 frames per second. I think it will support fractional as well. We can test it. Test it by just starting a second stream from another encoder. Let's do that. I can do one from the RØDECaster because I think that this is, where is it? Frame rate. Yeah, so I can set a fractional frame rate here. Let's do that. Now the RØDECaster is in 29.97. And where is it set to stream to? Stream profiles. Let's go to my YouTube. Let's make sure that stream key is correct. There we go. And okay. We're going to go live. Going to a second video on YouTube. Excellent connection. Unlisted video. Let's wait for YouTube to figure this out. And then we can take a look at the stats for nerds on this and see what happens. Come on. There you go. Oh, no, it did round up to 30. So I'm sending 29.97 from the RØDECaster, but it's showing me that it's 30. Don't know why it's playing at 720. But that means, I guess the better test would have been what happens if the RØDECaster is set to 59.97. Let's do that. So we'll stop that. Go back to frame rate and change it to 59.94. Not available with ISO recording. That's right. I forgot about that. So we've got to turn off ISO recording. Multi-track, record, program. Then we go back to video, frame rate. Now we can change it up. Okay. And now we go live. And I don't know what's going to happen to YouTube. Maybe actually this is not the best test because the stream started in 30. It's still showing me 30. So I think I might have to start a new stream on YouTube. Let's try that. So we're just going to end this one. Make sure I'm ending the test stream and not my actual stream. Great. And then we start over, make a new. Oh, that was a fun one. Create new, test, and we are making it unlisted. The RØDECaster is still streaming, so it should, as soon as I select that stream key in YouTube, it should just pop up. Not the default. I want the RØDECaster, ultra low, and it's found the signal. And go live. Let's see what happens with this. Now we are back on YouTube, and we'll just right click stats for nerds, and we're getting 60. So that was a test. That was a long roundabout way to test. I'm giving it 59.94. YouTube is changing it to 60. So it has not dropped it down to 30, which was the thing I wanted to see if it would do. So hopefully that answers your question. Oh, question from earlier. Can I control the ATEM audio channels mute and unmute with companion? Can't find the option. You can. It's just named weird. Here. So if you go to make a button, it's called Fairlight. Or I guess searching for audio will turn it up also. But it's in the Fairlight section, Fairlight audio, and then it's called the input mix option. So here we have camera 1 toggle on off. That's what you're looking for. It's confusingly named, I think, though. Another question. I have a problem with companion in the mix effect presets. When I want to change super source layout, the buttons do not work. I can put the button on the stream deck, but it doesn't work. Oh, I don't know if I have I don't have a quick way to demo that because I haven't used companion with mix effect in a while. We've been streaming so long that my computer went out of do not disturb mode, but I have a very important update from Lily. Apparently during peak season, if you thank your Amazon driver in the app, they get a $5 bonus. That is good to know. It is classic audio for the old switchers, Fairlight audio for the new ones. Yeah, but the ATEM minis are all Fairlight. The classic audio is like the super old ATEMs. V1 Aviation, with the YoloBox Ultra, is it possible to scale the chat so more chats are visible? I have not seen the option for that. Are you also a channel that does plane spotting? It's so much fun. Ooh, I don't know. How does it react when you throw higher frame rates through the HDMI, like 120 hertz? I have not tested that. That is an interesting question. I thought the breaking news was going to be that the cat's doing something cute. I can hear them running around upstairs right now, so I'm sure they're doing something. Have you ever tried to bring a Chromecast over HDMI to feed HTML overlay into RØDECaster video ATEM to be keyed? Yes, I have. It works okay. I don't think I even have one around here anymore. I've since moved away from doing that, but it does work. It does work. The main problem with it is so if you are in Chrome, you can, where is it? Cast. So it's called casting in Chrome, and it's built into Chrome. You can cast a particular tab, which is very, very handy. And it's going to try to find devices on my network, and I don't have any because, the Fire TV can cast just YouTube. Interesting. If I had a Chromecast, it would pop up here. The problem with it is that the link between is over the network, and the video is significantly compressed. And that means if everything is like perfectly still, like on this computer screen, nothing's moving, it'll look fine. But as soon as there's motion, like the chat's animating, two problems. One, the Chromecast device is not very powerful, so the smoothness of the animations will not necessarily be what you get like on a computer. So like, where did it go? So like when I have this slide up, it's pretty smooth. And it will look much more choppy on a Chromecast. The other problem is that because it's actually compressed video, sometimes you'll get pixelation blocks in that source, and that can mess with the keying because the keying expects a perfect green or close to perfect green, and the pixelation can sometimes mess up the video signal right around the edges of things, and so yeah, that can mess with the keying, and you will get lower frame rate, but it does work. I moved away from it because of those issues, and because the problem with casting a tab from Chrome is the aspect ratio is like whatever your window happens to be sized at. So it's actually really hard to get it to be perfect 16:9 so that it's not got like black bars on the side. And what were they saying? So yeah, so I was showing the chat that way for a long time. I moved away from it to using OBS with a little Thunderbolt output, and I actually switched Lily's setup to that as well, and it's been working a lot better for that. The other nice thing about it is, well, it's for chat it's good. For other things it wouldn't work, but I run the chat through OBS, so the web page that the chat is rendered in is now in OBS, but it does mean that I can't like I can't like browse the web and share what I'm browsing on this. For that, I just do screen share. But this means that it's like always the right size. It's outputting a very, high exact frame rate signal out that little HDMI port, and it works really well. I like it for that. Michael says Fire TV casting is not great compared to a Chrome. I've never actually done casting a video from Chrome into a Fire TV. Didn't even know that was possible. I do use a Fire TV though for this. That is actually a browser running on that's the browser running on the Fire TV for the map. So if I you can see there's the cursor and there's the web page. I just have to move it down to the bottom, and then the title bar goes away, and it's in full screen mode, and that works pretty well. It's not as fast as the browser on OBS, but it's okay for that. Mike says, not to pump, but do you still have the RGB Link Mini Edge? Would love to see a full review. This fits my needs and budget. Your live Q&A was awesome, but I have additional questions. I do still have it, but I have not done anything other than the live demo of it. If you do have questions, put them in the comments of that live stream, and I'll go back to that and see if I can revisit that device. You are a plane spotting channel. Cool. Rocking the YoloBox Mini, but want a little more screen real estate regarding the chat. The yeah, that's the challenge. Everything needs to be portable and attachable to the tripod, camera, YoloBox, and at most a small tablet. So Do you not even have a computer there with you? That's great. The so the other way you can do it is the way that I'm doing the chat. So instead of using the built-in chat feature on the YoloBox, you use a thing that brings the chat into a web page, and you bring the web page into the YoloBox, and then you can scroll through the chat on a tablet, for example, to control it. So I guess on a tablet that wouldn't work because my Chrome extension doesn't run on a tablet. But if you had a computer, you could do it, or if it was a tablet that was actually a computer, that would work. But then basically splitting the browsing of the chat from displaying so that you're not using the YoloBox Mini for that at all. Another YoloBox question: is it possible to run a screen capture from an app? Flight Radar 24 in my case. Not exactly, but I can show you what you are looking for. I feel like I need to get this. Do I need to get this out? I think I do need to get it out. Somewhere. I guess I'll do it on the Ultra because it's the same premise. So there is. Let's see if this battery is on. This is booting up. Should I make room on the desk for, for this? How are we going to do this? I'm going to, actually, this is one I can't touch because it's actually streaming this stream. So the director mini is over there. I guess I'll just turn this one off and swap this around. So power that off. And there it goes. Okay. My 4 videos. The network. Monitor and ATEM. This guy can go. Don't have a good spot for this. On top of that. Stacks of video gear. Okay. Let's get this guy connected. So we've got HDMI out so I can share the screen with you. Got network. And then HDMI inputs. 1. I put stickers on them. 2. Oh, these are short. These are very, very short. Wow, that's almost not going to work. Maybe it'll be better when it's down on the desk. Okay, that's fine. Cool. So what I want to show you is how you can do this. Having the chat isolated in Chrome is a good one. I'll give that a go. Yeah, so if you download search for actually the link should be in the description of this video, but search for the extension Live Chat Overlay. And what this does is this will take over the YouTube chat. So it works best if you use the pop-out chat. It takes over this and then gives you a link. Oh, it's not in this screenshot, but it gives you a link that you can load into the YoloBox, and then when you click a message here, it'll like push it to that remote window, so you can bring in the chats that way. So we can get this set up actually. Test. So here's the chat. Let's see what this is. I think that's actually the chat. I think it's the right URL. Let's find out. So if I turn this on, and then click on a message, is it going to pop up? No. Maybe it does. It might have the wrong URL. Let's fix that. I do like that they added mine as an example here. Although mine is a slightly different URL. Chat. And go. Okay. Let's see if it works. There we go. So now I can click on messages on my computer and they will pop up in the web browser overlay here. So that way it's totally separate. And that means that I'm not stuck using this, which is, it's nice that it's here, but it's very small. Okay, so what you were asking about is this question. Can you run screen capture from an app, Flight Radar? Is this a actual app or is it a website? Oh, it's a iOS app. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Here we go. Okay, so this is. I hope this works, because if this doesn't work, I'm gonna be very sad if I go to all this trouble and it doesn't work. What we're gonna do is, I can't move it that way. I guess I'm gonna do it on my phone. We are going to first get the app, Flight Radar, Flight Tracker. Okay, so I'm downloading that. It's an Android app as well. I don't have my Android phone here, so hopefully we can see if this works on iOS. Okay, let's see what this app does. Terms of service. Sure. What screen do you normally use for this? Okay, so I have the app. Great. Next, what I'm going to do, there's an app called NDI-HX Capture. So this does a screen recording of whatever's on your phone screen and publishes over. And so we're going to do that. Everything on your screen is captured and brought over via NDI. So that's running. So now if I go back to here, this should be available as an NDI feed. There's a little icon showing me that my screen's being recorded, so that's what's going on. Oh, there's a little helicopter leaving. So then if I go here, hopefully this is the right NDI. I can add an NDI feed. There it is, NDI-HX Capture. So this is the YoloBox. I'll tap NDI-HX Capture, and there is my phone screen brought into the YoloBox. Now I can do layouts, right? So I can go do a picture-in-picture. So we'll do A and B. Subscreen shape. Oh, that's bad. I don't have a vertical option. Can I turn my phone? Yes, I can. That really messed up the NDI capture. We're going to have to fix that. Let's just start this over. Oh, NDI doesn't... This doesn't like the... This doesn't go into horizontal mode. This might work better on an iPad. I can turn this app into horizontal mode, but then it messes with the NDI capture because it is the wrong aspect ratio. Oh well. Looks like that one's about to take off. That'll be fun. Okay, so back to here. Unfortunately, I don't get to make a vertical one, so this really would be better on an iPad. But I do have the NDI, the phone screen showing up as a picture-in-picture on the YoloBox. The problem is that the NDI capture app, now I've got the chats in two places. The problem is the NDI capture app doesn't go into landscape mode. So if I go back to the app and restart the capture, it will start capturing it vertically again. So oh well. They have a website, iOS, and Android app. So if you're using the iOS app, NDI, that'll work. Thank you so much. You showed me in 15 minutes what I haven't been able to find for months. Glad I can help. Glad I can help. Michael says, I'm officiating my sister's wedding in 5 hours and came here to relax my nerves. Wow, that's very soon. Very cool. Hopefully it goes well. Scrolling through the chat here, what is going on? Oh, that plane is taking off. There it goes. Whee! That's cool. Oh, that's new. I haven't seen that little scene switcher thing coming from the side. The glitching is back. Oh, gosh. Also, why does that thing pop out randomly? Interesting. Portland Airport was the first airport to get in the top 20 for customer experience. Nice. The new airport is so nice. It is very, very nice. Glad you could answer my questions. Nice to see you're enjoying aviation too. Yes, it is fun. I enjoy right now not being on a plane. But definitely traveled out for the year. So in terms of video latency, how good is NDI over wireless network for iMag? Do you have any real world experience? I have not used NDI or any like actual work that I've done other than in this studio, and I will say I would not expect it to work to be anything close to what you want for iMag, especially over wireless. So I would not even go there. Yeah. Another question for a computerless setup. What is the best way to bring HTML overlays on the RØDECaster video? HTML overlays for the RØDECaster video. They don't have the feature built in yet. I hope they add it, because then you don't need anything. So in the meantime, if you're not using a computer, a Fire TV works. Again, that's what's running the map in the background. So it's not, sometimes like some things don't look exactly the same as they do on a computer browser. Like sometimes the fonts are wrong, or animations aren't quite as smooth, but it can be okay. Of course, with the Fire TV, you're using the remote to type in URLs, so it's kind of a pain in the butt, but once you get it set up, it's fine. And the other way would be, I guess... Oh, there's another problem with the RØDECaster video right now. I mentioned this in one of the videos I did about it. There's no way to have an overlay keyed out. You can key out video sources, like you key out the, so you, now I don't have it set up again. If you plug in, if you have your chat coming in over an HDMI port, then you key out the video input, like on the input side, and then you can use it in picture-in-picture layouts, but you can't use a video source as an overlay. So essentially what it means is that you need to create a picture-in-picture layout for every camera plus overlay that you want to show that overlay on, if that makes sense. I talked about this in a video. Go look at one of the RØDECaster videos I have. Can't remember which one it is. It's probably the one where I was setting up Lily's stream, because that's how we do her chat. And you'll see what I mean. I hope they change that. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard for them to change later, but that's the weird limit with it right now. Chromecast doesn't work without a computer. So if you want a computer-less setup, the Fire TV works as a standalone device. But if you have a Chromecast, then like you have to have a computer to cast to. Love your Chrome chat plugin. Unfortunately, it's not working for Twitch. Is there a plan to extend support? I'm not going to do that, but somebody else has already done that for you. So Steve, who makes a lot of cool software, has a version of the... Where did my YouTube go? He has a version of my plugin that he tore apart and added a bunch more sites to, called socialstream.ninja. I just put a link in the chat. This supports, he's just like took it and ran with it. He has it as apps now as a Chrome extension. But this also supports a ton of platforms. I don't know how he has time to do all this, but Twitch is on that list. So just go use his. But it looks the same because it's all based on the same CSS. Very cool that he has turned it into apps and stuff. Do I have a how-to video explaining the setup of the map? No. It's a lot of just custom code with the Google Maps API. So Google Maps API and YouTube Chat API, both of which are very awkward to use. Frank says, our church has been streaming to YouTube via ATEM. Is there an inexpensive RTMP splitter so we can start streaming to Facebook too? I don't know what you mean by inexpensive. So there's services like restream.io. They're monthly fees. They're not terribly expensive, but it's a cost. And then you basically stream to that service, and then it will stream out to multiple platforms. The other option is some encoders do multiple platforms. So YoloBox, Director Mini, OC GoStream, they let you stream to multiple platforms at the same time. That's all going to be using your venue's internet. So if you're streaming to 2, you need twice the bandwidth locally. But the Restream service has the advantage of you push one stream out the building and then it will go to the multiple platforms. So you don't need as much bandwidth, which is nice. You can set up a free version of a Restream service if you're willing to get a little bit hands-on with some Linux tools. So you can go get like a $5 a month server in the cloud somewhere and set it up to do that restreaming, but then you're dealing with managing servers in the cloud. This I didn't know. Cloudflare has a service for it. Okay, that's cool. I have no idea how much it costs. Could be anything. So yeah, there's some options. Oh yeah, on the maps. So H2R graphics, it's another good tool for streams. This does have a map feature. It doesn't work exactly the same way that mine does, but it does have maps in it. You do have to go set up your Google Maps API keys yourself, though. Matt says, Facebook doesn't want your stream, and they'll just make it a challenge. Just post a link. And this is also a good point. Maybe don't actually stream to Facebook at all. Thanks for the tips last week. Zoom ISO worked fine on Mac M4 Pro, MacBook Pro. Mac Mini M4 is not available here. Cool. Glad you got that working. Oh, this is a good point. You can pair a Bluetooth keyboard for typing in URLs on the Fire TV. That makes sense. It's a good point. Cool. There's odd artifacting and smearing every 5 seconds. Am I tripping? Is it still doing that? Gosh. Current Chromecast with Google TV can operate on its own. Oh, that's right. They just changed the whole lineup. I forgot that there's a new Chromecast. It's now called Chromecast with Google TV, and they got rid of the small, tiny dongles. Still $30 though. I might have to get one of these then, because if that really is a full browser now, a full self-contained browser, that is potentially very cool. I wonder if they still have the weird not respecting the HTTP of the monitor settings. That was the main problem with the old Chromecast, is they always output HTTP signals, so it wouldn't work with the ATEM. You had to get a stripper in order to make it work. So, okay, I'll get one of these and we'll try it. I don't need... the HD ones are not in stock. Only the 4K ones. I don't want a 4K one. And delivery is a month? They're a month out? Holy cow. Restream allows 2 streams for free with slight restrictions on an account. Yeah, I can't remember the exact limits on the free. I feel like it wasn't super useful. Maybe they changed it. Cloud for Stream is $5 a month. Base price then $1 per 1,000 minutes. That's not too bad. Matt says, I've worked with over 100 churches and there's always an issue with Facebook. Facebook has stated they don't want your stream. Okay. Yeah. Any idea how to realize a dynamic leaderboard for live streaming a go-kart racing event? Just a simple one to have an overview of the current placements of the competitors. There's a lot of different things that you can use for this. Let's see, leaderboard. YoloBox, YoloCast might have one actually. They have a web platform for doing why is my password not working? There it is. So they have this whole web platform for streaming from anything or YoloBox into this, and then they can do like ticketed events and stuff. But the other cool thing they have is the overlay lab, where they have a lot of different scoreboard type things. And I'm wondering if there might be a kind of leaderboard in here, because you could bring this into anything. The other one that I would look at is oh my god, totally blanking on the name. They've emailed me too, and I feel bad that I have not done a video about them. Alex has done videos for them. Oh my god, what are they called? If you just search for stream overlays, you'll find a ton of different usually web graphics. The chat's gonna tell me what it is in a second. What is it called? It is called... Wow, I'm totally blanking. We should just end the stream. Let me see if I can find it on Alex's channel. Singular.live. That's the one. Wow, that took me a long time. So there's a lot of different graphics in this, and there may be a leaderboard in here. This is what I would start looking for, though. Gosh, there's a lot in here. There's probably something in here that you can use. Can I recommend an HDCP stripper? No. So the problem is that it's not legal to sell one called an HDCP stripper. So sometimes HDMI splitters that have like 1 in, 2 out, sometimes those will strip HDCP, but they can't like advertise it. So it's a total gamble as to whether you buy one and it does, but they're only like $10. So it's not that hard to just buy a couple, see what works. So I ended up buying a couple a while ago. I think they were $10 off AliExpress or something. But like that, the problem is those the hardware that's sold like on Amazon listings or AliExpress sometimes will just change out from under the product listing. So even if I sent you that listing right now, it wouldn't even necessarily be the same device. So yeah. Don't forget H2R graphics for a leaderboard. Can leaderboard? I didn't think it had that feature. I thought it had. I'm thinking something not just like a scoreboard. Let's see. It has. Maybe I need to actually just open it. For some reason, my searching for apps on my Mac has stopped working. Let's install this. Been a while since I've actually run this. Okay, so we've got the output window. We've got the show rundown. Let's move these into the other window. Where'd you go? So this is the output window, which you can then like output on a monitor, or you can get a URL to bring it into things as well. But I didn't. Let's see. So there's a score section. Let's add a score. But this isn't exactly a leaderboard. This is going to be like team 1, team 2, right? So now you can like increment the scores. But I was picturing like lists of people that you can reorder, right? Anyway, a lot of different tools for this kind of thing. I would just start searching for web graphics for that. Yeah, I don't see anything that's like a. Oh yeah, the pro version has a lot of this stuff. He's really done a lot with this. It's been a while since I've looked at it. Wow. You can make lists in H2R and drag the order up and down. Yeah, that's called it might be on the like agenda view or something. But I think it's in a pro. I don't have the pro version anymore. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, that was fun. So weird about the YouTube glitches today. I wonder what that was about. But that was fun little experiments. We did a lot today, actually, didn't we? We've got the YoloBox running with an NDI screen capture. Oh, this is nice. Now they let you go. This is one of my biggest complaints, and they fixed it. One of my biggest complaints was that in order to change the Wi-Fi, you had to leave the app, and now you can actually like see things about your network without leaving the stream. That's very cool. Oh, look at that. And it's like, I can actually change the Wi-Fi settings now. Cool. How do I get out of that? There we go. Yeah, got the YoloBox. We switched over the stream to run off of the Director Mini instead of the ATEM like I was using at the beginning, although it doesn't seem to have entirely made the glitches go away. So that's weird. Yeah, hopefully YouTube sorts itself out. No idea what caused those glitches. I think we're gonna wrap this up. This has been a weird stream today, but it's been fun, as always. Thanks to the supporters of the channel, the extreme supporters, Larry and Marcin, and thanks to everybody else for being a channel member. If you are a channel member, thanks for your support as always, and make sure you join the members only Discord, where we keep chatting throughout the week in between these Sunday live streams. With any luck, we should be back here same time, same place next week, and have a chance to do some more, get up some more trouble. I am planning on setting up the RØDECaster video with companion for Lily's live stream that she's going to do remotely, not from upstairs, on Christmas. Christmas Eve is Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, but in a few Tuesdays from now. So that'll be a fun live demo, real world demo of the RØDECaster video. And now I can finally use Stream Deck to make mute buttons for the audio channels, so this will actually work a lot better now. Yeah, so that's the plan. I will hopefully at some point get a minute to think, collect my thoughts, and do my own stream with the RØDECaster video, live, like streaming from the RØDECaster on this channel. Still want to do that. Have not forgot about it. It's just been a lot going on. So thanks everybody, and I will see you next week.